How you guys doing? I like to usually do a little bit more well-produced video, not just me talking to you in front of a microphone and camera, or on my iPhone in this case. But I'm watching on Neil Cavuto. I know Fox is not the greatest news source. I mean, unless you go find out and check everything they say, they're often on the wrong side of things. I mean, because Republicans and Democrats, the same side, different sides of the same coin these days, it seems in many cases. Yeah, but one of the ladies from the Tea Party groups that was testified in front of the IRS, she's a lady who cried that day, and it was powerful when she did. She said, "I am afraid I am losing my country." She was on Neil Cavuto. She's talking about how Obama's running out the time that they can go after the IRS for this case. He's purposely saying, "Oh, there's nothing going on here," just pushing it out until they can't, the statute of limitations, whatever the case may be, or it just runs out with the public interest. Whatever the case may be, it's running out for them. And he's just pushing it off. He goes on Jon Stewart, goes, "Oh, there's nothing going on there," when there's a TIGTA report that said there was, and we know that. You have to realize that we have been put in the place, and she said one thing. She said, I want to touch this before I go away from her. She said, we have to start standing up. We cannot go any farther with this. I've been saying this for a long time. I hear stuff from people like my dad and other patriots. And I know the guys are all patriots contention, but say things like, that's not the hill to fight. That's not the hill to die on. That's not the battle to fight. It's not the one. But we've said that about so many small battles so many times. It's just like they've done with gun control. We all talk about that. It's, oh, those little small things versus the magazines, then it's this. Well, you know what, though? Freedom's like that. And we let them come at us from so many angles that there is very little of it left. So little that it is scary. You see that in my house? You know what that means? It means we're in trouble. That's an American flag flown upside down and sits there on my wall in my house every day. I will gladly, hopefully one day be able to turn it right side up. It's not because I despise America, I don't like the flag, or I have any disrespect for any soldiers. No. It's because we're in trouble. We are in distress. We've been put into place by people that have made the conditions as such that when we disagree with them, we're racist, we're hateful, we're liars. They've made us retreat to this corner where anything we do is subject to ridicule, to just absolute hate speech against us, but called tolerance, the fake tolerance of the left, the intolerant tolerance. Well, you can't say about Muslims, but you Christians. And there's some blame to go around even to the Christians for what the spot they put themselves in. I mean, not giving people human rights over certain things, that should just give them to them in the first place. Hey, you're human beings, we'll give you that. But that's irrelevant now. Because of all these little stands we haven't taken, or because of these battles we haven't wanted to fight, or because we've been wrong in a lot of things that have made it so we can't speak up in other places. We are where we are now. And we keep seeing these situations we're put in, the American citizens are put in, where our founding fathers would be shooting already. But they've put us in this precise corner where if any of us do that, we're the nuts, we're the violent extremists, the domestic terrorists, the people will side against us because they have painted us into this corner purposely. I said to myself when I heard that lady, the Tea Party lady on Neil Cavuto, she said, we have to start standing up. And just no more. No more. I haven't given taxes for all. I refuse to. I haven't paid for a driver's license and registration. You know why? Because I refuse to. I will not fund the tyranny that is enforced on me. I will not refuse, no matter what the cost of this car over at hell one time. It's like, it doesn't matter. You have to say at some point in time, this is not going to continue. I'm done. You're done. And you know what? Yank me out of my fucking damn car because you know what? I'm over it. Show yourself, like Hank Reardon says to the court, show yourself for what you are. You want to use force? Bring guns. Doesn't mean I'm going to fight back. Doesn't mean I'm threatening any cop right now. I'm just saying, if you want to take my property, you want to steal from me, use your tyranny against me, well then use it. Show yourself for what you are. Show yourself to be thugs, tyrants, and dictators that think you have a mandate against another man's property and his free will. For too long we have said these are not the hills and battles, the hills to fight, or the battles to fight and the hills to die in. We have said this for too long now. We have said this for so long that the hills that we haven't been willing to die on are now a mountain range that we have to fight our way back across. Let me tell you something about fighting your way across a mountain range. The easiest way is straight through. like a tunneling, like a big boring tunnel and do the Swiss Alps. Just bore a hole straight through that sucker. Don't deviate, don't turn, don't try to take the easy path, don't try to barter your way up a canyon or a ravine or through a pass, a narrow pass where you can get trapped. Go straight through it. With the rectitude, with the moral rectitude of knowing that you are right, with the moral just a resolute knowledge that you have the correct humanity and morality on your side. That man is meant to be free, government is meant to be small or non-existent, and we should all not bother anyone unless they bother us, or we choose freely to involve ourselves with them. Where we are today is by design, make no mistake. And that lady is absolutely right when she says that we cannot go any farther because we have already gone far enough. The question is, are you ready to say that? Or are you willing to keep battling for part of your rights, giving up this to win that battle? Saying, okay, well, we didn't take the magazines this time, but you know they put this like thing on about stocks in the bill, but that's not a big deal. We got the magazine still. How can you sell truth short? If you know it to be true, if you know it is correct in your heart and soul, and you know that your truth is absolute, you know that man is meant to be free, you have the right to defend yourself, the right to say what you want, as long as you don't slander anybody, or hell, as long as you don't hurt somebody, you can do whatever you want. If you know that, why would you trade it, your truth, a piece of it, to a bureaucrat? It must not be truth then, right? And how can you defend it if it's not? Stand up for what you know is right. Stand for your principles. Stand for your values. If you're a cop and you watch this, every time you take a car in the street without a judge in a courtroom, you're stealing. Whenever you pull somebody over when you haven't seen them commit a crime, or you don't see a crime about to be committed, either imminent damage to a person or their property, like a guy's climbing a chain link fence, he's about to go jump in this yard, it's a nighttime, obviously, the lights are out, and it's got chain link fence around the yard, you put the jump in there, steal tools out of trucks. If he hasn't gone over the fence yet, okay, that's imminent. You can do that. But me driving down the street, I don't use a turn signal, that's not a crime. Nobody's been harmed. And we saw the danger of that today in the news, too. The Bland lady in Texas, the DPS officers, right? She's smoking a cigarette. He's about to hand her ticket and walk away. So would you put that cigarette out for me? She said, I'm not putting my cigarette out for you wasting it. If I put it out and there's almost not a lot, I'm not going to have to light a new one if I want any more. I'm going to be happy if I finish this. He says, get out of your car. She says, why? You give me my ID? You're about to hand me this ticket? I'm not getting out of my car. What happened to her? She just started a new job in Houston or Austin, I forget which one it was, and she's excited about it. But somehow this made her hang herself with a plastic bag in her cell. Suicide. The officer even said, the video even shows with her in handcuffs, him using his knee to restrain her. She was using her elbows while cuffed and her shoes to kick him. You're a man, bro. You're not a man. You're a piece of shit. Any man that tries to fucking put his knee in the back of a restrained, handcuffed woman is a fucking coward and a sissy, and not deserving of the respect and title that calling you a man entails. You're a bitch. You're a fucking lower than the fucking earthworms that people feed to their fucking animals. You're lower than the fucking ant. You're lower than the dirt. You're as low as the people down that fiery place beneath our feet that got pitchforks dancing around kettles. But people on. You're there low. And just wait one day. You'll find out because you'll be in that kettle. If you can't repent and give that shit up and realize you're wrong, ask Jesus to save your dumb ass. I ain't preaching God though, so I'll stop that. I can believe you can be an atheist and believe in freedom too. That's freedom. To do whatever you want and believe what you want. But we are in this place that they have put us in, and we have to stop. We have to stop. We got women dying in jail cells because a cop feels like he's got the right to tell her to put a cigarette when she doesn't, yank her out of her car and threaten her with a taser and handcuff her and put his knee in the middle of her back. And she ends up dead somehow. And it's not about race, because Bland, this lady was a black lady, but that doesn't matter. This happens to people of all races all over this country. Because the police think that they have a right, that they have the right to tell you what to do. They make up laws that say if you fail to comply, you're violating a lawful order. That's a good one. But forgetting the fact that they have to have a reason that they gave you that order. A right, they have to have earned the right to give you that order. And they can only earn it through you giving that to them by committing a crime. But they think as they tell you to do something, you have to fucking do it. Papers, please. Could I see your papers? Papers? Papers, please? Give me your papers. Is it Germany? I don't think so. I'm going to upload this right now, but we all need to wake the fuck up real fast because this shit is going nowhere good. It is going nowhere good fast. We got a president that's going to lie to the American people. We got patriots who will not stand up. We got people who say, you know, it's not the hill to die on, it's not the battle to fight. It's like, man, they are all, when it comes to freedom, the battles to fight, they're all the hills to die on, and they're all the reasons that we should be mad already, and they're all the reasons we should already have stopped this. What's wrong with us? You say, I never supported these programs, this, that. I never voted for that guy or this, that. But you know what, though? We let them continue. Even if you know something, how do we let that happen? How do we let these things that we disagree continue? You know how? Because we voiced our concern amongst our small circles, all our Twitter friends and their conservatives. We never went out and talked to people besides the people who already agreed with us about what we believe and why it's so important. We all sit and watch Fox News at night. But don't turn on the other channels to see what they're saying. To maybe understand or relate. We don't talk to somebody who's got a bumper sticker in their car because you just think, oh, they're stupid. They're not going to hear us. They got a bumper sticker. You can't do that. I got to go, guys. I got a girl's calling me on her phone. She got to bring her phone to work for her. But you know what, though? Think about it. Get your stuff together. Figure it out. Because you know what? It's to the point now where we have to do something. We have to figure it out. Because if we don't, guess what? We're toast. There in the the Tea Party lady said this on Govt today, too. She said, we are at the point where there is not another generation of freedom left in this country. This is it. We either prolong it or we kill it. It either dies or it is revived. It is either brought back to life through the power of your spirit and your God-given right to be free, or it is smothered in your empathy and apathy, in your lack of caring, or you're worrying about paying the mortgage bill, you know, and that's more important than taking a stand. Because you take a stand, you might not be able to pay that bill. Forgetting the fact that one day your kids may not have a bill to pay because they'll live in government housing, and we all will, and we don't want to think because nothing belongs to us. Pick your side of history. There are only two. And there has always only been two. Which will you stand on? The side that the villains stand on, which also entails the cowards. Those who just can't ever bring themselves to admit the tyranny. Those who can't wake themselves up enough to see the truth in front of their eyes. We'll call people that say things that talk about truth conspiracy theorists, paranoid, overly aggressive. That sounds like Alinsky to me. That sounds like a liberal. I would say that kind of stuff. Not classical liberal, progressive. Anybody who watches this is, I plan on talking for 5 minutes. Maybe I'll make a shorter version and leave both up. But wake the fuck up, please. Don't dismiss people who you who you don't think or agree with you. Talk to them. Don't dismiss people who you think are having some like crazy stuff that's way out there with the government. Because you know what? Most of the stuff that you're telling you is true to some degree, and there's truth in it. Even if it's not all true, there's things you should know there. And if you don't know them, how could you ever even, when people accuse you of being in that group, say, "Oh no, I'm not," if you can't know what those things are? Talk to people outside your comfort zone. Inform people, even when they don't want to hear it. And do it with kindness and passion. Speak from your soul about freedom. If you speak from down here, down in your chest about freedom, and then you use that feeling that the 3% that fought in our Revolutionary War, only 3% of the people, the colonists, that's how they won. They fought with that knowing in their soul that freedom is meant for man. And if you talk to people with that, you will find more people that agree with you than don't. And even people that you may think that you may disagree with, whether it's a guy who's gay, you know, I mean, look at the Pink Pistols. They're a group of gay shooters that are for gun rights. Don't alienate them. Bring them and say, you know what, we disagree on some things, but that's a social thing, and we can leave that out of government. And you know what? Thank you for supporting the right to defend oneself in the Second Amendment in my Constitution. Stand next to me, and I'll stand next to you. So we don't both lose our rights. Open your freaking eyes and your hearts and your soul. Speak with passion. Speak with power. Speak with the thing that you know without a single doubt in your mind is meant for you, and that's freedom. I said in another video one time, I said, freedom is this powerful thing, you know, and Alexander Hamilton talked about how it would drive men to overcome, and there's a powerful thing about freedom. It makes men courageous. I don't remember the exact quote. But that power of freedom is for all men. It's not a power like a King Excalibur. That's why I said it. It's not a power like King Arthur's Excalibur, where only one man could wield it. Freedom is a power that all men can wield if they will just open their eyes up and take it in their hands and say, I am free. And there's nothing you can do to take that from me. Not even with a gun, a sword, a cell, bars and walls, and all of your henchmen. I will not comply with tyranny, nor any man who wants to put another man under his foot. God help you if I see you do it to anyone. Thank you. It's Chuck Burns for the USA, for freedom, for the idea that started America and would renew it again. Telling you to speak on freedom from here, because it will move the world.